Damn, Bob, you got everybody coming up here.
I don't play.
We're not going to be able to see them.
That's all right. Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Underhood Show. My name is Josh Profit, and I'm the service director at Mel Hambelton Ford. We're live out here at Kansas International Dragway, and man, we have got some a line of cars here behind us as well. So, got a lot of people on the show here with us today. So we'll go through and kind of introduce everybody. But first of all, good morning, Phil. How's things going?
Hey, everybody. It's going great out here in Dodge City. Raced last night at Dodge City Raceway and had a great heat race, had a great top 5 finish. We're getting ready to go racing again tonight. So sorry I'm not there live, and looks like a lot of fun out there at Kansas International Dragway. Bobby, you ready to go, buddy?
Oh, you know, Big Daddy's always ready to go. Born ready, Phil. Born ready.
So first of all, I guess we'll go through and kind of introduce everybody. We've got Bobby Stalls here with us. We got Steve Baker here with us, and we also have
Dave Dawkins.
Yeah, Dave Dawkins. Oh, sorry about that, Dave. But we're out here at Kansas International Dragway, like I said, and we'll go through kind of what all's going on out here and everything like that. But it is a call-in show, 316-462-3673. That's the number to call in if you got a question for any of these guys. Got a lot of racing experience, I would say, out here, and maybe as we get in a little bit later in the show, spirited debates as well.
Oh, no. Okay. Well, then we're going to have some other interviews from some drivers that have a lot of knowledge and a lot of background, and I brought them up here too, because everybody has their own opinion on drag racing and own experiences. Trust me.
well, very good. But it is a call-in show, 316-462-3673. That's the number to jump on the air here with us. And if you guys got any questions you want to ask these guys, feel free to give us a call here, and we'll get those questions answered. And we give a package out to each and every caller that calls in, but it's going to consist of the works, which is an oil change and tire rotation. We use Motorcraft oil and filter products at Mel Hambelton Ford. While we're doing that, we're also going to complete a multi-point inspection on the vehicle, checking over the brakes, tires, steering, suspension, making sure that car is ready to go for the next 5,000 miles of driving. You'll also receive $10 to Mel's Diner, so you can get yourself something to eat and drink while you're here with us, as well as nitrogen, complete nitrogen for your tires, so you get all the great benefits that nitrogen has to offer. And then a BG products package would consist of a can of MOA, motor oil additive, for your engine oil, and then a can of CF5 for your fuel system. Again, just getting that vehicle geared up and ready to go for that next 5,000 miles of driving. So with that being said, gentlemen, Bobby, what's going on out here?
Wow, you know, I've been racing a long time. A lot of people have been racing a long time. You don't just start racing and learn all the tricks. You got to go by experience, and through the years, as we come up drag racing, a lot of things has changed in the drag racing world. Trust me, electronics, it's going crazy today. And in our day, we used to have some classes, and since things changed, our classes kind of got out of a class, and the people really couldn't afford the classes anymore to keep up with the big boys, because it's all about the money. And so what me and Steve Baker's kind of putting together is some couple classes, an index class, kind of keep the big fast guys out and keep the low dollar guys in, so we can still all have a good time in drag racing world without selling the farm and robbing the bank. You know? So we got Brandon Mock up here today. He has a Ford beautiful Mustang, and we'll have to show that on the camera here. And
yes, it is.
I'm a Chevy guy, and we got some other guys, Kate and all them guys are sponsored from Mel Hambelton. So out here at the track, a lot of good things can happen, because when it happens fast. So we have sponsors that came together, and I'm telling you, without our sponsors, we wouldn't have this class, because JR and Dave Dawkins and all them are trying to make it at the track and trying to make ends meet and stuff. So we got the sponsors stepping up to help pay for the purses, which takes a big load off JR's back and the tracks, everything else. So me and Steve went together, Tony Loomis, Braxton, and our pit crew. We're going to show you them here in a little bit. And we're putting this all together for all the spectators, guys, because we love racing, and I'm not much of a watcher. I'm more of a doer. So we put this on for spectators to come out here at the track, to go home and have stories, because you only live once, and you can go home and tell them all week what you saw at the track, so what's going on. So we're excited you guys put this together, and we're out here spend a lot of time, a lot of money. And Brandon, how much time do you put in your car?
More than I want to know, that's for sure.
I mean, a lot of people see these cars go down the track and they just think it's just sugar-coated and everything, but they don't see the hard effort behind the scenes.
Yeah, the week leading up to the race.
They don't see the bolts that get stripped out, and then you got to take the whole motor apart to get it changed, and the line borne and all the, oh my gosh, there's a lot of work. And Brandon and Steve, we can all, I mean, Steve don't do too much of that, but he sees it all happen. And I know Brandon does all his own work, don't you, Brandon?
Yep.
Kind of tell us what you got here. I know we got a Mustang here, but kind of tell us your setup. I mean, we saw this car go down. I mean, this car's a 450 car better all day.
Yep. Me and my father built it throughout last year. It's a 1985 Fox body Mustang. It's got a 588 cubic inch big block Chevy, F3 121, turbo 400 2-speed, 9-inch rear. Fastest we've been with the car so far is 448. We're still figuring things out. It's definitely been a learning curve, being that my father and I have done everything ourselves. But there's definitely a lot more in it. I think if track conditions are well tonight, we'll see a new track record here.
Yeah.
What do they call that car? Built Ford tough with Chevy stuff?
Yeah. Exactly.
No, the Fords run too, man. I'm telling you, a lot of guys, they got money. They build them Fords, and they're right there with everybody. Tell you a little bit about his dad, Shane. Me and Shane come up through the ranks. Old school, new school, what have you. Shane's been to the new school, Pro Chargers and all that. And he said, Bob, back in the day, it was trying to get horsepower. Today, it's trying to pull the horsepower out of the car to get the car to work with the horsepower. Do you agree with me there?
Absolutely.
Brandon, it's amazing. And that's a whole nother game. Yep. See, I've been racing so long that I don't even know if I want to change that level. Yeah, no. I'd have to sell the farm on that one. So I just go out and try to have fun and what we can do. And like I said, I want to talk about the sponsors. Okay. Now, if people call in, we get cut out. Okay.
Yeah, no, you're fine.
Well, before you get there, I want to stay on this car real quick. Me and Bob are big tire cars, and for you guys that doesn't know what that means, is that we are running on twice the width of the tire that Mr. Mock is running on. It's pretty impressive that they have half the tire size on this car and are putting down times as fast as us big tire guys. It's just faster, and a lot of situations where they go down the track there. I mean, just getting these things to hook, which is incredible. If you come out here and you see the car, just look at it. Look at a big tire car. Look at a small tire car. And these guys are tuning experts, man. They've got to have their stuff together on race day, because it's I think you'll agree, it's easy to blow tires off.
Absolutely.
The hardest thing is get it to bite out there. And when they get it going, I mean, these things hook. And I'm a big Pro Charger guy. And like Bob said, we haven't got into it yet, but the Mocs, we've talked to them about it. And maybe if we hit the lottery, we can do something like that with one of our cars one of these days.
Well, I try to hold Steve back a little bit. But anyway, and Brandon knows too, in a small tire car like that, the danger and the things can happen so fast because you have so much power that it's actually more dangerous than what our cars are, because it's got so, it's trying to get to the ground with the smaller tire with all that horsepower. So I mean, it's a driving game sometimes, so you got to be,
it's more about the driver than the equipment.
Yeah, you got to know your car. Isn't that right, Brandon?
Absolutely.
I mean, oh my gosh, you don't just get out here and floor it and go down the track. You can't do that. So anyway, guys, I want to talk about some of these sponsors, because without these sponsors, we wouldn't be here. We got two classes, and what the 580 class is, we put an index class. So when you're going down the racetrack, you cannot brake faster than a 580. If you go a 579, you broke out. You went too fast. And so that keeps everybody honest. And now what you got to do, you call it, you snooze, you lose. So you got to be on your game on that tree, because you got to still get the stripe without going too fast. And I laid this out to all the sponsors. They're all in. They're all excited about this. And I'm going to go through them. This is the 580 class sponsorship, and we're going to talk about that a little bit. Cooter's Body Shop out of Goddard. I'm telling you, Cody Herring, I don't know if y'all been around my old white Camaro, 69 Camaro. I used to put it on the bumper, put it as a showstopper, and Brandon was just a little guy back in those days. He was sitting there riding on his bicycle watching all that happen.
Watching it go.
I took that car over to Cooter's Body Shop. The only thing original on that car today is the roof and the deck lid. He completely redid the whole car. A lot of stories behind that car. I could have been dead in it many times in high school. It's my high school car. Yeah. And guys, Cooter's Body Shop out there in Goddard.
Well, he painted my car.
Yeah, he painted Steve Baker's car over there, the Camaro. So then we got Paul Partridge Roofing, Partridge Roofing out of Newton, Kansas. They do a lot of nice roofing. He's been doing that since high school too. Oh, Paul's been around a long time. Suitors Excavating. If you guys need any excavating, some dirt work done like that, Suitors, Paul, Cyboyd is his name. All these guys come together and put money in, and we ended up raising like $5,800 from these sponsors. And then I'm not going to use all that money this race because I'm going to put it over to the next race at Summer Nationals, which is July 10th.
Okay.
And that's Funny Car Chaos. If you can't make it to this race, you got to be there July 10th.
Can't miss this next
That
race.
is going to be some show-stopping material that weekend.
Very
Brandon
good.
be here. Everybody be here. So,
We
and
hope.
then
He'll speak for you sometimes.
Go
Brad
on,
has
go
to.
on.
That's the plan.
No, I just make sure he's going to be here.
you will be here, won't you, Brandon? Brandon never misses a race.
I was going to
Okay.
say, he said he wouldn't miss it.
That's right. Holzman Race Cars, Rob Holzman. He's been building race cars from his dad growing up when he was a kid. So Rob Holzman dumped a little money in. Acme Doc, Steve Baker, tell him a little bit what you do.
Show up and babysit a bunch of kids.
Okay.
No, not really.
That's normal.
What we do is we're in a transportation logistics role at our company. What we do is kind of give you just a quick scope is that like Dillon's, Kroger's, Tyson's, we constantly do improvement for food consumption and picking up, semi trucks that come in, like Kenyatta, one of our guys that's a sponsor here. He hauls loads on 53-foot trailer reefers to get it from A to B for safe consumption for humans. So it's really like more of a compliancy issue with the USDA. So right now, it's huge. It's at the forefront and the focus. So as long as you guys are eating, we're still making money.
It's cool. Okay. Then we got Valley Center Sonic. Guys, y'all get thirsty. Have that happy hour. Rick Bernard, very good sponsor. He's always in on it. He'll be here tonight watching the race. And I've known Rick for a long time. He gives way more than his share. He really donates and puts a deal in. Then we got Mario Williams. His dad just passed away here, or he'd be here this weekend racing just like the rest of us.
Yep.
He has a clear direction. If you have any addictions, hopefully you don't, but everybody has some issues in life. Go see Mario Williams, a clear direction. So he'll take care of you there. Automatic. Okay. Automatic. This is Morgan Fusca. He has Renegade Fuels, and then he fills nitrous and everything else. Morgan came to me and said, Bobby, I want to be a sponsor. I didn't even go to him. He called me and kept hounding me and said, get with me. So I got with Morgan. Morgan's super nice guy. He's a drag racer too. And he's 150% in.
Very good.
And he hits me. I mean, I get so busy sometimes I don't even have time to get to the sponsors. And he
Yep.
calls me and says, Bobby, what are you doing? Get over here, So that's a good sponsor right there. Everybody wants to come forward on the deal. Okay, Trinity Sales and Rentals. Greg Miller's a super nice guy. He has the rentals place if you guys want high lifts or anything you need rented up on Southwest Street. Greg Miller, super nice guy. And his boy, super nice guy too, guys. Trident Construction, John Barnholt, and he wanted to donate, put some money in on this race. Mel Hambelton, of course, Phil has been such a big contributor. I mean, I can't even think enough about him because all I could do is mention it. Me and Phil, we used to race back in our day, back in the day. Now he likes this circle track stuff, but and I think it's because his boy. I think he really likes drag racing.
You think so?
I really think so. But he right, Phil?
You got that right. I did. Jake mentioned the other day we were on another radio show, and he mentioned that I tried to push me drag racing. I did. I tried, but he wants to go in those circles, so that's what I'm supporting.
Yeah, I get dirty enough in the garage instead of out there at that 81 Speedway. you gotta breathe that dirt from the other cars. So anyway, different strokes for different folks, and I can't knock people for that. But I like to come to the track with a nice piece and go home with a nice
same
piece.
one.
I mean, it's hard enough if someone spins out in front of you, right time, wrong place, because you're gonna take it home with him, So anyway, and then I'll tell you what, we were racing last night, and I got to bring this out. Scott Baruth from AutoSmart. He came to me and he says, Bob, when are you going to come and hit me up? I said, well, and I'm not very good with names, and I called him the wrong name, and someone come up and talk to me, and I'll talk to him, they leave, come back and talk. I say, hey, I ain't seen you for a while. Yeah, it's just how I am. It's terrible. But Scott come up to me and says, Bob, you really want to get that class going, come and see me. That is awesome, from AutoSmart. Scott, I don't think he really drag races. He just, I mean, he might have some cars, but he just loves the sport, and he wants to put that money in there to help keep it going. So that was awesome. He came to me and did that. And so, Scott, I will definitely hit you up on Summer Nationals.
There you go.
Or we'll tackle you.
Okay. All right, Steve, I'm going to let you. What do you got?
Well, I just wanted to, and so here's kind of how things are set up, because you can see how chaotic it gets out here, and Bob's already in, second gear before we even get warmed up. But in the 580 class, I'm going to oversee that class so Bob doesn't have so much, because he's really concentrated on this 470 class. The 580 class, what's going to happen this year, and we're learning, and we're going to talk to our guys and make sure that they're on board with us. But our 580 class, we are instant green. Absolutely no electronics, no throttle stops. If you have a delay box and you're a badass and you can make that happen, more power to you. But we are going instant green in my class. No electronics, throttle stops. We will do a card or a chip draw. So to me, that's the fairest way to do it. I don't like trees and fastest against the slowest and all that crap. You're lucky your draw is what it is. God made that happen, so that's what's going to happen. We are going to have, if I remember right, we're going to have a buyback into the loser.
Yes, sir.
Or, no, I won't say loser. The unfortunate
loser,
people that don't make it past the first round.
There's a winner, there's a loser. Come on, face it.
We'll have a $40 buyback in for that round. You got to go back up here, pay your $40, tell them you're going back to the buy-in on the 580 class. And then you can get back in. Now, you're not eligible for the big purse, but I think we have another purse set up.
It would be a $300 purse.
It would be a $300 purse
for the
if you win
losers round buyback. So the winner of the losers bracket.
Right. So that gives this 580 class. I mean, we have a lot of people showing up in the 470. It's the little faster class. It kind of caters to the guys with the big banks, the Bobby Stalls.
Don't say that.
But this 580 class is perfect, because like Bobby was talking about, we have some guys that can't meet in between there, but 580 is pretty solid for most guys. So I think last year we had probably 12 to 15 cars in there. And then last year we had to wind up splitting the pot, and I apologize, I don't remember exactly who it was, but we were going later into the evening and the track got a little bit loose, so we just decided to, the last 4 that was in there, we just divvied that up between them. Last three. It
was the dew was coming down, and they split it just to be on the safe side. Charles got in there and he got a little piece of that, so they split $500 each.
I think Mario took 100, did he?
Yeah, Mario took 100, and then Charles took 500, and they split. There was $1,500 between 3 places.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, we definitely, what we do is, we work hard at this sponsorship, and we really, really appreciate everybody that steps up. It's not as easy effort as you think. We don't get the Scots and the other guy saying, hey, I'd like to. I mean, if you ever see us out and you say, hey, I'd like to, throw $100 in this game is nothing. I mean, it is what it is.
I try to at least get 200, 250 for a sponsor.
But, if you have a bunch of sponsors at $100, it means, more money than,
more than what you had.
Right.
So before we kind of move on, so today's events, this started yesterday, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so explain kind of hours and what's going on.
That's probably where we need to bring Dave
back in. Yeah, we'll get Dave back over here.
Because I want him to go through. I heard numbers, but it's all going to be contingent upon breakdowns, things like that. But I think we were going to start somewhere at 2, 4, and elimination started at 6.
Right.
Oh, you got it right there. Oh,
yeah, he's got it right here.
There we go.
All the heads up classes today, they're going to try and run qualifiers at 2 and 4 p.m. And then the eliminations are supposed to start at 6.
Oh, I was right.
And then the Nitro Mike wheel stander is out here putting on a show, and he'll be running at 8 and 10 p.m. tonight. So,
okay.
Well, what else was I going to say too when you was talking? Some things come to my head and it just goes crazy. So
you mean do those?
Yeah, I'm going to let Steve talk about the 470 class. 470s basically. Tell them a little about the index.
Okay. 470. Last year we did a chip draw on that as well. 470 is a 410 Pro Tree, just like if you were out here running your door slammer car. We're going to get with the racers and find out if they want to do tree or they want to do a pull.
We're going to do a qualifying later.
We'll do a qualifying. Okay, so that'll be a tree setup. The computer up here, it'll knock out the list. So once we get qualifying numbers, those guys will know who will be racing who. Some of those guys like to do that. it is what it is. That's not my forte, but I like just drawing chips. But so what'll happen is, we'll get that tree established. We'll get the qualifying rounds going in. I think we'll have 2 of those today at 2 and 4. That'll give us the ability to get 2 good runs down, see where we're at, and then get the tree established. And then at 6 o'clock, we'll start, they'll call us up into the lanes. We'll start getting up there and then getting staged up and ready to rock and roll.
So when you say, or when you're saying tree or just go straight green, what do you see drivers prefer? What do you see them typically want to go to?
Well, I think it's a mixture, a caveat of the two. I mean, you got the old school guys that like the 410 trees. You'll see some of the younger guys like us that do some no prep and some street racing type stuff. Did I say that on TV? Okay, I didn't say that. That's like a flashlight start. So, I mean, we're used to that instant light, So on an instant green, what happens is you got to stage up against your partner that's in the next lane. So you get the yellow lights. You both drop in both yellow lights, and then instead of that tree coming down with lights, like bracket racers or 410, as soon as you see that green, you got to be on it. A 410 tree is a little bit different for these bracket racers. They know what the reaction time is. They know that 410 is going to be a certain drop once he lets go of it. So they can knock a little delay time out of their delay boxes and make sure that they're right on. It's what they're used to. So that we don't want to take anything away. We want to make it fun.
Sure.
Just like the 580 class. The 580 class, we're not trying to be buttholes about it, but when we put this class together on the 580, it was more of, you can do full fuel injection, but we didn't want to get way into the electronic crap. We wanted a fun class that everybody could get into, enjoy themselves.
Have a chance of winning.
Right. The 470 is run what you brung.
Yeah.
I mean, other than dragsters, and center seating cars, the 470 class is run what you brung. And hell, this year, Chris Lovett, I mean, he had 1 car out here last year. He's going to have 2 cars out here this year. So it's a very, very fun class. And I think it makes everybody, real honest and keeps everybody moving along. And I'm really getting into the 270. I just got a lot of respect for these guys on these 275 class tires. I mean,
we'll
it's
let
just
Brandon
incredible.
talk about that a little bit on his class.
So what I'm going to do here is I will start naming some of the sponsorships. Looks like we have about 11 of them. If I screw up their names, Bobby will be here to help me. So next one, trucking. That's our buddy Kenyatta. He drives trucks, hauls trucks, 53 footers, I think all the way around the United States. And we're picking up and hauling, I think here out of Park City. I think he's got he hauls out of Park City, and he's out there on the road all the time.
He has a Monza. He'd be out here today running the 580 class call. He calls it the Hood Legend.
Yep. Oh, Hood Legend.
So
he's
had that for a long time.
Yep. And then we got Worldwide Transmissions. We got Brian McDowell. Brian over there, if you have,
Brian wants to put a sign up. He wants to put a sign up. He's wanting to sponsor racing big time. So he's wanting to put a sign up at the track too. He's all in.
Okay. And then if you have any transmission needs, I would imagine that would be from old school 2-speeds all the way up to this newfangled, 8-speed drive transmissions that I have no idea about.
It's out of my league.
Go down there and talk to Brian. He'll get you hooked up, or anybody up front there be happy to get you in and probably give you an estimate on what your cost is going to be to get you back up and running. H2M.
No, H&M.
Oh, H&M truck.
H&M truck, lube and wash.
That's Treg Fletcher.
Yes, he's a drag racer too. He called me and said, "Bob, when are you coming by?" And I said, we just got off vacation. So on Tuesday we got back. I ran around all day. That was an all-day deal trying to chase people down to get their checks. It was a job. I mean, unreal. Yep. And then sometimes they're not there. They leave and they forget to leave the check. I mean, so you got to go back twice. But, hey, it is what it is. And people don't realize when we're putting these classes together, there's a lot of stuff done behind the scenes. It ain't just showing up and racing.
Just like getting the cars ready. Yep. And then we got Chris Lovett over at Wichita Dyno. Chris has been just great sponsor, been there for us, of our company trucks at my business. He's right across the street over there on Pawnee and Meridian. Chris will do anything from complete motor overhauls, LS stuff. He has the dyno set up there. So if you want to do, a true dyno off the back tires, you can do that and get
No, it ain't off the back tires. It's off the axles.
Or off the axles. I'm sorry.
Okay,
yeah, he doesn't have a roller. He has an
went
axle.
to the axle, so it's all true stuff.
Yeah.
And he dynos everything. And once you come to the track, when you turn that nitrous on, if everything's doing its job, the car's going to do its job, because after you get off the dyno, you know what you got. I'm telling you, a lot of gives you a lot of security in your car when you know what's going on.
And he's actually found power in both our cars. I mean, he's had both these cars up there, and he can, just by his tuning experience, he's found anywhere from 10 to 30, 40 more horsepower just from, fine tune adjustments to get your car
Makes
running
a big
there.
deal. Yep.
Yep. And then we got Bill's Built Race Cars. That's Bobby Bill's. I'll let Bob talk about this. Bob's actually got a car with him right now. Kind of tell him what you got. You bought another 69
Camaro. I got a lot of irons going on. I got a 69 Camaro. I took it over to Bobby Bill's. They did such a beautiful job on linking it and building the rear end. And now they're doing a beautiful work on sheet metal. And they put indents in the sheet metal. I was going to carpet the back, but now I can't because it looks too nice.
Yeah.
So Dave Dawkins is going to come over here. It's going to give us some views of that on the International Dragway, KID, of how it's progressing through the system. So we already took a view on it, and then we're going to come back and take another view on it. And then when it's done, we're going to show the final product. So it'd probably be too nice to race. So anyway.
And then we have Warren's Automotive. Everybody that's been around for the years knows Warren's up there in Park City. Warren does anything from, basic tire changes all the way up to motor swaps. I mean, Warren can do it. He also sells he sells racing fuel. Warren was out here last night. Bobby, you got to
I got a story about that.
But
me and Warren lined up on the line. I got him out of the gate, and he ran me down on the big end, guys. That my bottle kind of laid down on me, but that's part of racing. And I'll tell you what, today is going to be exciting because Warren ain't no slouch.
No, and
Warren's been around racing a long time.
Warren's one of those guys that when he's not out here doing the 470 class, he's a bracket racer. And I tell you, a couple guys in there that I know, Warren's one of them that can really cut a tree down. He's on his game. I mean,
Warren, he'll look at you and smirk like.
Yeah.
So it ain't over till it's over, but he's on my mind when I pull up to the line.
Oh, he was all smiles last night when he came up after the race.
Brandon knows what that's like. Some of these certain racers, when you pull up the line, it's all in.
Yep.
You don't cut them no deals.
Yeah.
And then we have Ron Evans Roofing.
Yep, Ron Evans. He'll be out here in a beautiful red Corvette.
Yep.
Ron does roofing. He's been doing it for years. Super nice guy. And he'll be out here running. I think he's going to try to slide in the 580 class too. We're going to see if we can do it.
Is Ron, where's he located out of?
Hayesville.
So I imagine, within probably an hour or two radius, if you have any roofing needs, gutter replacements,
he
or anything
goes clear
like
to Oklahoma.
Oklahoma. So
Yeah.
give Ron a call. I mean, good guys. He did your.
Yeah.
He just got done doing Bobby's roof at his house, and did a good job.
We worked out a deal. I worked on his stuff, and he works on mine. And I don't want to take nothing away from Paul Partridge because them two, man, they're both good.
Yeah. So you have two sources there. You call one, he's busy. Call the other guy, and you never know.
Mm-hmm.
Then we got this guy. I'm not sure. He's kind of new to the game. It's Stall Racing.
Yeah,
it's this Bobby Stall guy.
I wish
tell
I
you
had
what.
all the money I put in race cars. How about you, Brandon?
That'd be nice right about now.
Phil, you still on there, Phil?
I'm here.
Yeah,
Just
Phil,
listening away.
Go ahead.
Just listening away.
Well, I tell you, Bobby and I, what was it? He got back in town from vacation. And of course, he was all relaxed until he got back and realized that we had racing. And we not that we're probably any different from a lot of guys. We're pretty methodical before race day. I mean, even if the car ran great last race that we were on, we pull both of these or all three of these cars in there. And I mean, we go through these things. Now we're not pulling blocks apart and stuff, but we're checking these cars and
going through the rock arms, putting kits in the carburetor, checking the rear ends,
just
all
doing
that
everything
stuff.
and the safety, making sure everything. And so I think Bob got back on Monday and kind of slouched off Tuesday, and here comes Wednesday. So I got him
slouched. I was started on Tuesday.
You did?
I was chasing all the money.
That's not working.
Yeah.
That is. You have no idea.
But anyway, I started getting. I wanted him to relax because if anybody knows Bobby, he's always going full throttle and red line and everything. So time came up and said, hey, we need to get these cars in there. So we started thrashing. We got in there Wednesday, got my car in there. Then Thursday, I think
Mine was last. Go ahead.
His was last. He always takes care of me first.
Yeah.
We got copper tone in there. And
then I work on other people's cars on top of that, and the phone rings, and yeah, it was crazy. But we're here today though.
Yeah. But we went through that, and Bobby, I tell you, it's been a pleasure being known. We always sat in the shop and say, how long have we known each other? And I said, I don't know. I always joke. I said, I mean, the first time we met, you were beating some guy up. If you want to go all the way back to there, or do you want to go back to when we started doing cars? But anyway,
I didn't know him then. He saw that happen.
Yeah, and it wasn't his fault. I'm not just saying that. I was
started
there.
It.
And so anyway, but he's a big teddy bear as long as you don't ruffle his feathers. So.
I'm all right.
But we were talking about that the other day. Time, effort. We stand out there in the garage, and he's out there. He's teaching me more. I just say, build it and I'll run it. I'm kind of like Days of Thunder, build the car for Tom, and I'll just drive it.
You came a long ways though.
Yeah.
You can at least know how to take stuff off.
Yeah. I can tear it up.
You can take it apart.
And just but I've learned with Bobby, as long as I put it somewhere, he can look at it and put it right back in. But it's when it's the wrenches. The wrenches always disappear. You can take everything out, and then that number 2 socket, it's always gone. But I would tell you,
that's a pet peeve of mine, losing my tools.
Daryl and Bobby, big shout out to Daryl. We got several motors over with him right now. Daryl without him, and Rocker Arms Geometry.
Palmer's Automotive. Daryl has been like a dad of mine. I met him when I was 18 years old. I walked in there and he looked at me and probably thought, who's this little punk? And he had no idea on how many motors I would build through the years.
Yeah.
I ain't kidding you. It's amazing. And Daryl has stepped up and took care of me. He's like my dad. My mom and dad are passed, and he is my dad. I mean, he's me and Daryl go back a long way. I got his back and everything. So good day.
Daryl's a great guy. Bobby is, as far as the old school stuff, there's a lot of guys out here I like and respect, but I tell you, this guy, from the pan up, he knows it. Can do it, tune it, makes it happen.
What I do is you got to be a smart racer, because new school and old school is two different animals. So what I do, I know about old school, but when I want to know about new school, I don't just try to figure it out, because that's an expensive issue. So what I do, I call Shane or a brand or someone that's already up there in that bracket, and they'll cut corners and help me so I can get there faster when I'm ready to do that. So it's just smart business. You know what I mean? You listen to the people that's already paved the way in front of you.
People that got that experience when you sit there and try and figure it out yourself, like what you were saying.
Yeah,
it becomes expensive quick.
Very expensive. I could tell you story after story when people try to do things on their own. We just had a motor I built for a guy, and he didn't know. He slid the tranny together and bolted the converter to the flywheel first, and then bolted the tranny. You can't do that.
Yeah.
And guess what? Thrust bearing gone.
Yeah.
And then he calls me and asks me. I said, wow.
So kind of working this thing backwards, we talk about technology, but like what's right now, what's kind of the latest and greatest thing that people are working on as far as technology?
Turbo and Pro Chargers. Brandon, this man right here is in the Pro Charger business. I'm telling you, I'll let him. He's going to interview him. Okay. So we got to keep moving because we only got so much time.
I just say with Brandon, and he'll know this, is that Daddy Dave down in Oklahoma, Street Outlaws. Daddy Dave came out of turbos. He was into turbos, kind of like the turbos from what I understand. But Pro Charger came back specifically and built a new setup of Pro Chargers for more horsepower. And like I said, I don't know a lot of that, but I would tell you that the reason why we do some of the things like that is the quickest way to learn how to do something is to do it wrong the first time. Yep. And that's what these guys, we do it too. These guys, it's a learning lesson. So when they go in, they can tell us, hey, don't do this or try this, do this. We know not to do this. And that's what it is. It's just all a learning experience. Yeah, it's a learning experience.
Okay, we got to keep moving here.
He's telling me to keep moving. Usually, wow.
We can talk all day long.
We got CJ's Automotive and Tire. We got Dave Norman.
Yeah.
CJ's, where's he located?
He's out of Newton, right there on Washington. He is a big sponsor of the track, put a big sign, put some good money into the sign and the track. And then Dave called me and wanted to put it in my race too. Super nice guy. We work together because he has an alignment machine. And when I work on cars, I can't do that. I'll send it to him. And he called me and wanted to be a part of the sponsor.
Gotcha. Yeah. And then we got Votes Parga Construction. Yeah. That's where you used to work for.
I used to work for Votes Parga.
Yep. Renee Parga.
He bought Al out this year. And then Tony Loomis He was my boss that works for Volkswagen. Tony talked to Renee, and Renee put a nice chunk into our race this year, which I really thought that was awesome.
That was a step up.
Now we got to get him out here to watch. So
then we got Jim Ewerts over at Ewerts Excavating. We had an excavating company up here. So again, dual sources there to be able to go to. I mean, these guys right now, these businesses are thrashing. So, I mean, I would tell you, if you need work done on anything, get these guys out here, tell them what you have, take a look at what you have, get on their schedule. Because thing is, you might be waiting a week, you might be waiting a couple months. I mean, I know with my wife, she wants to take our house and rebuild it into the Taj Mahal, but so right now everybody's busy. We got to get out there and make it happen. Car builders are always busy. That's a nonstop deal.
So I want Brandon to talk about his class and how hard it is and what you've done, Brandon, and the sponsor in your class, because that's a serious class. So tell me a little bit about your background.
So I started racing when I was 6, and I've slowly worked my way up to where we're at, into the heads up world. We chose to do the small tire scene. It's always been an interest of mine. We're running on a 28-10-5 tire. It's the max tire you can run for the small tire class. And right now around here, there's not many rules other than tire, and you got to have steel roof and quarters and stuff like that. But it's very tricky in today's world to try to calm the power down and try to get everything planted on the small tire. You're really relying on track conditions and weather, and just making sure everything's right at the right time.
It's pretty accurate to say that it pushes it back on the driver a lot more, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
He's got to know his car.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say. If Brandon don't know his car, that car can go right over that wall.
What total horsepower would you say? I mean, if you turned it all in, 2,500, 3,000 horsepower?
It's about 2,500.
2,500. Hey, I'm going to step aside. I'm going to give this to one of our other racers.
Okay.
She's not quite as pretty as me, but her name's Katie. Bobby will introduce her. She's been in this racing.
It ain't just guys out here, trust me.
Yeah. So here, I'm gonna put this over here.
Me many times, right, Katie? Okay, Brandon, finish what you were doing in your bracket. Okay, wait, Katie. Brandon, tell us a little bit about your class and the money that you have invested in your car, which I know is way more than what I even got in this purple car. And then you sponsorship, who's your sponsor and all that stuff.
So running the small tire deal, we, like I said, me and my father built this car, which definitely saved us a lot of money. We started with roof and quarters and some tubes, and we made a car out of it. So it saved us a lot of money versus taking it to a chassis shop or something like that, which we can't afford to do.
Well, I got to call out to his dad too. Shane has been he's been around as long as I have in this racing, because when I used to race the Camaro, Shane was right there in the green car beside us.
Yep.
When Brandon was in diapers.
Yeah. My dad.
That ain't no kidding, right, Brandon?
Yeah. Well, he's taught me everything I know, and I can't thank him enough to be able to put me in the position I am today. He's been a welder, an aircraft welder for 23 years and on the fabrication side of it. So it really all works out in our favor. So, but sponsor wise, we got ProCharger, superchargers on board, Double A Performance, Monkey Shine Speed Shop, Jason Metcalf at Ultra Color. He done all the body and paint work. Allen and Sons Waste Management Services. Jason Novacek Automotive and Machine does all of our motor work. Morgan Fuchsa supplies us with fuel and oil and keeps us going all year round. And
wow, I'm jealous.
Yeah,
I have to pay for mine.
And Flip-O-Matic Transmission, he keeps the training going for us. And Neil Chance Racing Converters is another big part of the team.
Right.
So
they're all old school racers, been around a long time.
Yep.
Now, what about the sponsor for your class? Who puts the money up for that class all the time?
There's really a variety of different people right now. Brown's Tire used to put up a lot of money, and he was a big part of the class there for a while. And
does AutoSmart put money in that? Who's putting the money in it today?
Not really sure.
Okay. Dave would know, I'm
I
sure.
hate to say that,
Yeah.
but I'm not really sure.
Well,
Gotcha.
it takes a lot of people. It's not just takes a lot of people putting in a lot of money for you guys to come out here and get this going down the road.
Because it's not cheap.
Very
I'm not
much
kidding
so.
you. This is a expensive sport, and it's a lot of fun. But man,
I know Chris Lovett at Wichita Dyno was a big part of today's deal.
oh, okay.
with
Chris
the-
put that
so-
money in that class. Awesome. Okay.
So
Well, Chris, I can't say enough
Yep,
about Chris
thanks to
because
him.
Chris, that's what he does for a living is dyno cars and build motors or build cars and tune them. And Chris is 150% in on everything we do. Super nice guy. Chris he was young when he used to watch me race the Camaro too. So we go long ways. Okay, now, Brandon, you got any more you want to come up and say? Okay,
We're good.
now I got to bring this girl in because
Okay.
she has been around. She's my little cheerleader. She watched the old Camaro days and come up through the ranks. Katie's a lot younger than me, right?
I doubt it.
Don't ask
What?
our age.
But you used to watch Camaro days. So Katie come up through the ranks. Katie, tell me a little bit about your drag racing and your experience. And you don't, just because she's a girl. See, I didn't grow up with sisters.
Okay.
So I always looked at girls like they couldn't even throw a hard ball, or, you know, I did. I honestly thought I couldn't throw the ball hard at him because he wouldn't catch it. Well, I was wrong. But anyway,
Yeah. What happened when we first raced?
that's what I'm getting to. But anyway, Katie come up here and, you know, I took her lightly and boy, she's treated me many times. The girl don't play.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, hers is a family thing. She's got son in racing, and so
Oh yeah.
give a little background on
Let Katie talk it out. We'll see what she has to say. All right, Katie.
I've been doing this for about 30 years. Well, actually, I was street racing when I was 16. So I've been on the track since I was 22, and which would be 30 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I started out with the Mercury Capri, that yellow car.
Okay.
The silver car is our Mustang. They're both originally 4-speed, 4-cylinder cars. I built the very first 302 that I put in there. I used to drive it to work, and then I drive it out to the track and race it. I started out in Sportsman. I am now up in Super Pro. The last 4 years, I've been in a 750 dragster. So
beautiful car. I've seen it out here.
we sold it, but I got back into the Mustang. Haven't been in it since 2015, and took 5th in the car last points race.
Awesome.
So
Very cool.
I raced the yellow car until I was 8.5 months pregnant with my son.
There you go.
So you got a
And-
free ride.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He now races it. Mel Hambelton Ford sponsors him. He is
And
married.
he ain't nothing. He runs in the family.
Yeah.
He ain't nothing
Yes.
to play with.
After I stepped out of the car because I had Christopher, my husband got in the car. We tried to share. It doesn't work very well.
Yeah.
So my husband is a very good racer also.
Mhm.
I have to give props to him. The only reason that we've been able to do this as long as we have is because we do pretty much everything. We have the machine work done, but we put everything together.
You don't have money growing on trees.
No, I don't. And it's very expensive. And especially when I had 3 cars. We took the small block out of the yellow car and put a big block in it. I think Christopher was 2. He's now 28.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, so then I had the small block in the Mustang, but it kept blowing up. So it is now big blocked also. They are all Fords. There's no bastard car in my family.
No LS swaps.
Hell no.
No cussing on the radio, Katie.
So my cars are very consistent. We have been on E85 since before anybody else has been on E85. I actually started out on E98, and then we put it on E85. My son won points out here 6 years in a row. Eric's won points out here several times in a row. I've won points out here.
Tell them what points are.
Point in bracket racing, we have a race every year that we like to go to because it's kind of like the big time race. We race for Wally's. If you win that race, you get to go to Pomona. Well, I don't know if it's in Pomona anymore, but it used to be in Pomona for the last race of the year and race with all of NHRA.
Uh-huh.
And in order to do that, you have to get into points.
You're cutting her off so she can't see.
So you have to win so many points. You have to qualify to get into it. If you win points, of course, you get extra money at the end of the year. You get most tracks give you what they call the gold card, so you can get in free the next year. You don't have to pay for entry fee or anything else like that. This sport is very fun. It's very addicting, but it's very expensive.
Yeah.
Points is when you go up and you race. Every time you win that race, you get points. And so as it accumulates through the year on all the races you show up, when you say you win points, she has won more points than anybody and win races more than anybody than that class.
Very cool.
And then since she's at the top of them points, then she is the person that gets to get recognized to go to the big races.
Like Topeka and the other places, yeah.
So that's what the points is. And they have that on all different tracks. So then what they do, they have this track has people that are all-stars, and then they have other tracks that have people that are all-stars. So them people go to, and then that king of the points is what they do. Who wins that is ended up taking the points. So that's what I was.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the year, they put a big banquet together for all the tops.
Yeah, most tracks do that. Do that, and then most tracks give you free entry if you win.
Yeah.
And usually it's first through fourth place, same as like when you to win money is the people that get money. Most tracks do whatever the purse is on a points race for that year is what you win extra at the end of the year if you win the points.
Then they have a banquet that pays you out too on points.
And so, like I said, I've won points. My husband's won points. 1 year.
That's a lot to do. That's a lot to save for. I mean, when you take the heads up on points, it's crazy. It's
with
a lot of investment in it, a lot of time, a lot of work.
Time.
Yep.
Instead of being at the lake like me, I like to pick and choose. I go to the races, I go to the lake. I go to the races. And Katie, she has to be at the races.
She's going to the races.
You know what I'm saying?
We're here 3 or 4 times a year. I guarantee you, every time you come to this track, you will see at least, in my opinion, that yellow car will be here. That car I've seen
95%.
I've seen that every time I've been here. If I'll just come out and I'm not racing, I'll watch the bracket stuff. That car's been here, and if you don't see it, it's by chance something that they couldn't get it together just because the part wasn't available, because that car is here all the time.
So what I want to get to is everybody watching this, it ain't just a guy sport.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of girls behind the scene. Didn't they have a powder puff race last night?
I guess, yeah.
I mean, I think Dave told me that. And
I don't get into that because
you would dominate them. So anyway, you can let someone else win. Okay. But the women, guys, I'm telling you, women aren't, they love this sport too. So don't think it's just a guy sport.
Yeah. And so, we've got some of our racers like Tony Whitmore. He's getting his daughter. She loves the Hot Wheels race deal. These junior dragsters. You can go up to the junior dragsters, and I bet you 2/3 of them are girls.
Yeah.
And they love it. They get out here, they have a blast. I mean, that's the main thing. We've been around for a while. It's great. We love you guys supporting us. But come out and support these kids. I mean, if you want to know where your kids are, what's going on, bring them out here to the track. All you got to do is introduce them. They'll start going around. This is a big family. Hell, it's like when I was growing up, I'd go down the street and the fourth house mom down at the end of the block, she was responsible for taking care of us because she was the mom on the fourth house down. Same thing here. Kids can walk around. They can talk to people, get to know people. It's just a big family, conglomeration of everybody put together. And we just have a good time.
A lot of fun.
A lot of fun.
Yeah. They got concession stands out here, guys. So you can eat out here and enjoy too. Just enjoy the races.
What I can say is my son has been down this track more than any child I know, just because I raced with him when I was pregnant. But it keeps him out of trouble.
Yeah.
Yes.
It is. We still support him mainly. I mean, that's our car, but he races it, and we pay for pretty much everything that goes into that thing. But if you're going to do it and your kids really enjoy it, Christopher was never in junior dragsters. mainly because we really couldn't afford it. Christopher's been in my car since he was 14.
Right.
So, but it kept him out of trouble
Sure.
every weekend.
The only
he was
difference
out
in
here.
your car, he wasn't born in the car.
No, he wasn't.
That's the only difference. She was pregnant in it, and then she went to the hospital, had him, then he was back in it.
Then he was
Yeah,
back
so-
and turned
You
around.
just should have
right
had
back
him in the
it.
car.
But he, it takes a very special kind of person to support people to do this. It is not for the faint of heart,
Yeah.
but it is very fun. It is very family oriented.
And tell him too, Katie, it ain't all sugar coated. There was a
No.
lot of arguments behind the scenes.
Oh God, yes, there is. There's a lot of
That's
arguments.
called bonding.
So we
Yeah.
call those spirited debates, not really
Spirited.
arguments.
a lot of bonding.
Political
bonding
correct.
time. Yeah, some bonding time is worse than others.
Right,
But
right.
if you can pull through those bonding times,
makes you tougher.
it really helps you out.
Right.
It's a very fun sport.
When you're kind of like us, you've progressed. I mean, you started with a small block, you moved up, you progressively got quicker. I remember when I started this with Bob years ago, he told me this is one of the only sports that you will spend more money to spend less time in your car.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
know?
I mean, you go down the track for the dragster, for instance, it's a 750 car in the quarter. It's a 470 car in the eighth.
Yeah.
So most of the places we would go is 8th mile. I like 8th mile better than quarter mile, only because it is less hectic on all your
Right.
parts.
Yep. Safer for a shutdown, for us.
To an
The mile
extent.
hours,
Most of us,
the mile
yeah.
hours not
Yeah.
as fast.
Yeah.
I mean,
Unless
is
you don't
safer.
have brakes. I did that in the dragster. That was fun. Not really, I'm lying, but I don't suggest that to anybody. It's you in your car, like with the dragster, you're in your car for 4 seconds.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
yeah.
You spend thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars to
To
basically
go faster for less time.
That's
in
what
your
I was
car.
telling him, Bob. That's what he told me a long time ago. Yep.
So, I mean, basically, if you think about it, okay, let's say you go 7 rounds, you may have been in your car maybe 20 minutes in those 7 rounds.
And spent all day
I want
to
to go
get
through.
there.
Yeah.
I want to go through the sponsors again, and then I want to recognize my pit crew because I
Okay.
want to let them know. So,
Sounds good.
okay, let's because we only got how much
Yeah,
minutes
you got
left?
about 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
Yep.
Okay, come here, guys, and then I'm gonna go through the sponsors. Hurry up. And Katie can recognize this too because when you come to the races, you got to have a pit crew, and I mean, you got to focus on driving. You got to focus, and if you guys got good team leadership to help you focus on the car, you take your mind off the car and you focus on the light.
Yeah.
And I want to recognize the people. Got my son-in-law, my good friend Tony and John, and my son Braxton are a big part. They know what they need to do and what have you. So when I go up to the line, I know that car is ready to go. If it ain't, then we have a problem.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm going to focus on the light and cut a light. And Katie knows cutting the light is where it's at. You
So
So
snooze,
much
you
of
lose.
it's mental
Yeah.
too when
Right.
when you get to that point.
Right.
Yeah, we rely heavily on these guys because our mental focus is our car. We know it's right. It's ready to go when we get up there. We're focused on
It's you.
cutting the light and driving.
Yep.
So
Okay.
they do a great job of it.
Okay, I want to let you guys know the races at 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock. The elimination is going to start at 6. So tonight, you want to bring here, get a cooler, what have you, come out and watch the races. Got the Nitro Funny Car at 8 and 10 o'clock or 10 p.m. So you guys, tonight, you want to have a good time. And then don't forget, July 10th is Summer Nationals.
Oh, Bob, we did forget one thing. On both categories, 470 and 580, if we get a 000 light, the first one hits 000 light, we'll pay an extra $100. First one that hits a 580 or a 470, the first one that hits it, I'm not doing it for every single one, but first one that hits it, that's an extra $100.
All right.
So there's an extra $300 floating around out there. So maybe somebody can cut a 000,
It don't happen every day, but you
Nope.
can luck out.
hit a 000, and then hit your 470 and hit your 580. There's $200 more in your pocket.
Right. Okay, I want to go through this again. Cooter's Body Shop, Partridge Roofing, Scooters Excavating, Holzman Race Cars, Acme Dock, Valley Center Sonic, A Clear Direction, Automatics, Trinity Sales, and Triton Construction, and Mel Hambelton. Oh, Phil. Right, Phil?
You got it.
Okay, next one, Trucking Kenyatta, Worldwide Transmissions, M&H Truck Lube. Guys, listen to these. If you have any work done, try to remember these and go get work done. I'd like you guys to support them. Wichita Dyno, Chris. Bill's Built Race Cars, Warren's Automotive, Ron's Evans Roofing, and then Install Racing. I'm really busy. I can help you if I can. But CJ's Automotive, Votes Parga, and Ewerts Excavating. So them are our sponsors today, and I'm very proud of them. And what they've done for us is we wouldn't be able to put this on if it wasn't for them.
If it wasn't for the sponsors.
That's right.
Absolutely.
And it's a big shout out for them. So
very, very cool.
And our team leaders, and Katie's got a crew. And like I said, it's all teamwork. And when they do it, they got to love to do it because they wouldn't be out here. They'd be doing something else.
Yeah, very much so.
You don't win all the time, but it's just the competition. You're on your toes. And
the stories
we go
you got
home
to take
winners,
back
we go home
you.
Losers. You know what I'm saying? But you can't say you didn't try. Give us effort for trying.
There you go. Well, guys, it's been great hanging out with you guys this hour. It's the hour blows by every time, and so we wanted to thank you for letting us hang out with you and bringing up the display of cars up here. I'll kind of pan around here.
Can you move that to show the Mustang and stuff?
So we can show.
It ain't just a Chevy show out here. Trust me.
Well, you got the Mel Hambelton trailer here. I think this will be opened up. You got shirts. Yesterday I saw tires. I mean, if you need it, it's here.
Should we see if Phil has anything to say? We didn't even let him in on
this.
This
is a show I've not. This is like he's a mouse.
Just
weird. It's like he never even was on the show.
Phil, what you got to say?
You know, guys, just sitting here in Dodge City in the hotel room, just waiting to go dirt track racing tonight. But again, can't thank you guys enough for the partnerships we have with everybody in the drag racing world. We're out there, like I said, the trailer's out there to support the racers and give them what they need in case they break. They got the trailer there to help them out, stuff like that too. So Bobby and everybody, guys, can't thank you enough. And it is kind of hard to get a word in edgewise on top of Bobby.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Phil. We definitely appreciate everything you guys do.
Yeah, no joke. Yeah, you guys are a big sponsor, and Phil, I'll hit you up on. We'll do this again.
Yeah.
Next month, July 10th. We'll do it a week before, Phil, and then the day of the race, just like this.
That sounds great. Let's make it happen.
Okay.
All right. Good luck out there tonight.
All right. Okay, Phil.
Good luck, everybody.
All right, guys, make sure you make it out tonight.
Yeah, if you're looking for something to do or need something to do, get out here to KID today and get to see some good, clean racing. And I'd like to thank the sponsors of our shows as we listed all the different sponsors and things that you guys had for this race. We've got sponsors as well for the show, and that's going to be Big Corner Creative. So if you need any conventional, traditional media advertising, they do race car wraps, they do vehicle wraps, so whatever you need to advertise your business, Big Corner Creative. BG products, all the great preventative maintenance items that BG uses, we have right inside Mel Hambelton Ford. Get your car tuned up and ready to go with BG products. And then Go To Rent. If you need a larger vehicle, getting ready to take a family vacation for the summer, need something with a little extra room or something that's going to be better fuel economy, get with Stan right inside BG products. So everybody have a great weekend. Thanks for hanging out with us this hour, and we'll talk to you next Saturday.
Okay.